The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome, everyone, to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, squeezably soft host. Once more, into the breach do we go, dear friends.
The following takes place between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m.
And what do we have? Well, we're off, 14 points on the S&P cash at 2580. The Dow's off 131 and the Nasdaq's off 57 or 58. We were off a great deal more than that, but it's all about Congress dropping the chalupa, putting that baby Ruth in the punch bowl, all the things that they probably shouldn't done. But, you've got a fairly divided Senate. You've got one guy that is more than willing in the last days of his life to go around shooting all his brethren in the nether regions and make a point, since he was never the guy that he thought he needed to be. So we find out that for the most part that this is all about one senator. So we'll find out more about this, I suspect, in the coming days. But petulance does not look good as you exit. What else do we have going on out here? Well, like I said, big move down, huge move in the drop. I suspected that we'd at least get some kind of air pocket. I think we said that this week. A lot bigger than I thought it would, because there's nothing, I wrote in my newsletter this morning, there's nothing to focus the mind like a stock market crash that you get blamed for. So these guys will get it together if they have to be drug across the finish line. And as I said yesterday, they'll try to do everything they can to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. But you just don't know. A couple of people trying to gum up the works, and that's about it. But my guess is this will pass with 50 votes in the Senate, and you'll probably have to have the vice president there to push it over the line. But that will probably be it. And then we'll be on to the happy hunting ground for the end of the year. If we're going to probably start rolling over here, my guess is it will be now at the end of the year. Maybe they'll go all in on destroying this, but my guess is that everybody knows that it's one thing when your opposition hates you, but guess what? When you want to go get elected again, if your base won't vote for you, you don't stand a snowball's chance in July. And that's what a lot of people are looking at right now, probably waking up thinking, Dow's down 200. It could go down 2,000 if we don't do what we're supposed to. So I think that there's a little feet to the fire on this thing, but we'll see. Politics is a tough game to handicap, but that's kind of what we're doing here over the next couple of days. But we shall see. Anyway, we had a huge bounce in the VIX, came back off of pretty much. But it's, I was watching the first couple hours, and it was all selling huge amounts of puts, which basically made me think that this wasn't going to last very long. Normally, what you want to do is when you have one of these things and you're a market maker, you kind of know where all the bodies are buried. You kind of sell the opposite direction when you get the opportunity, because that's just free money. And while we could get more, the best traders on Wall Street in the options market are betting that we go at least slightly higher and certainly not much lower. So we'll see out here, but almost got to that 2,600 level in the S&P cash. I suspect that we tag that again before expiration of monthly options, which is a week from tomorrow. As always, we'd like to start the show with a little history.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
On this day in 1989, I know exactly where I was because I was in West Germany in the Hilton watching this all transpire. There was a little convention that I went over to see whether or not we could sell any of our products over in Germany. There wasn't, for the stuff we had at the time, wasn't a lot of reasons to actually get into it. A couple of years later, we did have some products, but they had nothing really to do with me that they pushed into Europe. But it was an interesting thing. It was, everybody knows where they were if they were standing on the grassy knoll in 1963. And I think if you ever were at a place where history happened, like them tearing down the wall the next day for East Germany, that was it. Anyway, East German officials opened the Berlin Wall, allowing travel from East to West Berlin. Of course, you could only go through Checkpoint Charlie before that. Following day, which is the day I remember the most, which is tomorrow, celebrating Germans began to tear down the wall, one of the ugliest and most infamous symbols of the Cold War, reduced to rubble that were quickly snatched up by souvenir hunters. The East German action followed by a decision by a Hungary official a few weeks earlier to open up the border between Hungary and Austria. This effectively ended the purpose of the Berlin Wall, since East Germans could now circumvent it by going through Hungary and Austria and thence into West Germany. I was in a convention, and by the time the end of the convention was in, I had probably 15 or 20 East Germans trying to exchange any kind of armament, military aircraft, tanks. If it could kill somebody, they were more than willing to part with it for any kind of television equipment. And it was just a very interesting thing. Of course, I wasn't going to get involved. It wasn't even, that isn't really what I was into. I was into special effects and other computerized stuff. They wanted stuff that they could use that day. And although we made it, we weren't that big of a company. In 1990, we were really just splitting a few years before from Scientific Atlanta, and then splitting from another company that just went bankrupt. We were starting our company with a decent amount of business and a great engineer, but I think you could put us all in one room in 1990, maybe 15 people totally in the company. It grew to 250 or so by the time I left. But on this day in 1989, history, and I was there to witness it. It was kind of interesting. Anyway, not much in the way of news came out before the show. This did see some things happening. We're going to get to Intel. We talked about it yesterday. Intel and AMD. Another shoe has dropped in that story, so we'll talk about that when we come back. We'll go through some of the earnings coming up for tonight, tomorrow, and we're going to have a good time.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And of course, we were talking about AMD and Intel yesterday, and we were saying how the AMD chief engineer that was responsible for all the graphic cards had been put on vacation for a while and then canned. Well, today he shows up working at Intel. So it didn't take long for that shoe to drop. Unclear about how all this is going to work and whether yesterday's announcement between AMD and Intel. But the plot is thickening. But I think we can also say that Intel is now squarely in the video card business. I mean, they make a lot of video chips that go into their own processors. They don't make many actual video cards of any kind of cost or impact to their bottom line. But on a regular day when things probably weren't happening much, this would probably be a big deal. To me, it's probably a bigger deal to AMD, and I'm wondering if there wasn't some kind of money under the table to let them get this new guy. This one certainly is the one getting hammered today more than Intel, down a bit on 57 million shares. That's compared to 58 million shares all of yesterday. So you've gapped down, you've come back down here in this 1065, certainly looks like a support area. But cash infusion, memory, my guess is that there's bigger doings going on here going forward. But losing their best engineer to Intel kind of tells you maybe what's going on for the long term in AMD. STM Electronics, let's take a quick look at that one. Someone posted that in the den. You got a big gap out here. Support comes in at 2250. These were probably going to come back to these levels anyway, so not much going on. A lot of people kind of freaked out a little bit this morning with NVIDIA starting to sell. Of course, they have earnings out after the bell. I thought that they could do okay. This may be the last big hurrah for them. I was watching the tape earlier. Certainly looked like a lot of people were shorting this going into earnings. So if these guys whiff, probably no big deal. But if they come in line, I would not be surprised to see this 212.90 tested again. Looked like a lot of people were betting on the downside earlier in the day. Disney continues to ramp in front of earnings after the bell tonight. 103.91. Part of this is on the Time Warner deal. Everybody's kind of looking at this as a net positive into Disney's earnings. The question is, have they fired enough people at ESPN to actually keep that from dragging them down the tubes? Their movie's not that good. This one may be taking the next huge ABC on down going into Christmas. I talked to a couple of my friends over the weekend, the last couple of days from my Hollywood days, and the word is that the Star Wars movie, Ron Howard probably not going to be able to save the thing. Kind of thinking it's lukewarm at the time. Not only that, many more movies, even I read Louis C.K.'s movie has been taken off because people find something in it objectionable about stuff going on. So media tends to be a horrible place to be right now. Walt Disney, even if they do a little bit better, my guess is that we're going to find out that a lot of people, anytime a director leaves halfway through the movie production, there are going to be problems. And as far as I can tell, Opie has not been a great sci-fi movie director. I think he was just somebody of stature that they could get and make a decent movie out of this. But they spent $4 billion on Star Wars. They're going to try to ground out every penny. But Disney has the bad tendency when they get other properties to homogenize it and vanillaize it to the part where it's not worth much. I think you're really throwing the dice going into Christmas after. We'll find out after earnings tonight. But I think Star Wars is going to whiff. The last one wasn't that good one, and this one has all the earmarks of a movie that could go south in a big way. And, you know, it's not just a movie where you lose $200 million. This is something that they say that they need to make $1 billion and a half dollars of gross money on over the next 6 months worldwide. And just $800 million on something like this instead of $1.5 billion is a huge deal. But we've seen a few trailers for the thing, but short of the girl in these movies, I don't find anybody that looks to me is going to be the next Harrison Ford or anybody that you really care whether or not they're in the next one. I mean, I think they did a good job casting her. The rest of the people, basic television actors as far as I can tell. So what else do we have? Of course, earnings out in many of the retailers. To JWN. There was a buyout story for Nordstrom for a great deal. This thing kind of fell apart back early part of 2016, and they've tried to ramp this thing up with multiple buyouts. $39 seems to be some level of support. This will be out after the bell. Of course, we saw the rest of the Macy's and the other also rans. But Penny's, Macy's, all Walking Dead stocks. If they make it through next spring, I will be surprised. We saw Avis come out earlier in the week. Symbol is CAR. And it whiffed and blew up. We also have Hertz that kind of came down with it. So if they just do okay, these guys actually may bounce. A lot of people went short this thing. I was watching it when Carr was trading, and it was just a lot of people piling on. So maybe the downside's already in this one. See if there's anything else we wanted to talk about. That's kind of it. We'll see tomorrow morning. J.C. Penney's, as we said, I don't know how this can get any worse, but they certainly look like they're going out of business. After Christmas, things going to get 10 times as hard. They'll be closing a lot of businesses. That's going to cost them some money. I don't know how they repair this one at all, so it is on my Walking Dead list. See if there's anything else out here. That's kind of it for that. Let's take a quick look at Monday. Anything that would move? Nothing in the morning. Nothing on Monday that really looks like much. See if Tuesday we get back into the thing. So, okay, next Tuesday, as we start looking through all of this, I thought my break was coming up here soon. Tuesday, we get after the bell. No, before the market open, we get Home Depot. This thing's been doing
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we said, of course, we've got the big ones tonight, Disney and NVIDIA, and that's probably going to really tell us what happens over the weekend. But what else do we have? It's certainly one of these things where you got to be keeping an eye out for these and what's going to happen for retail this fall. As I told you so, actually, I got to find this because I haven't done this in a long time.
I informed you thusly.
Yes, I did. I informed you thusly that eventually Amazon would, the cry for anti-monopolistic endeavors would hit. Saw a handful of articles this morning all on that line. We'll get into Amazon later in the show. But anyway, I wanted to get to earnings coming out Tuesday morning. Dick's Sporting Goods, these guys had a horrible quarter last time. This is when this thing gapped down, never was able to come back and really even fill that gap. A little pop today on lighter volume, printing out at 27.02 for the high today. But not only do we get that one, we get TJ Maxx also on Tuesday morning. And that's problematic. It's kind of at its lows. So if you're very bearish here, the question is whether or not these things just don't gap down and away from the previous lows. Once again, Dick's looks like it could have a couple more gap downs. TJ Maxx, probably one of the better run of these bunch, but energy's just the same on the way up and way down. Other stocks that have been hit by the Amazon effect are the auto parts sellers. We've got Advanced Auto Parts Tuesday morning. And it's back at its lows. Not a lot of volume, though. So the question is, if these guys don't blow up out here, what happens? You've got the August 15th low at 82.21. We got down to 78.81 without much of the way of volume. That was 20 million shares back there. The best we've been able to do is about 3 million shares on this way down. So, you know, this one could pop. And if it popped, kind of a big range out here back to 105. The question is just how bad Amazon has put a hitch in their get along. A lot of people talking about natural gas. We got Cheniere Energy Tuesday morning too. Now this one's right at its highs. So chart actually looks fairly decent. You're going back up against the May 25th high at 51.41. 4.7 million shares, just 3 million shares, but you kind of spiked it today. So you're probably going to get a chance to retest this May 25th high once again in LNG. So all you natural gas folk might want to keep an eye on that. A couple other stocks coming out. We've talked about the 3D printing companies having a hard time. These guys might also gap down once again. These things are hanging at the lows. Stratasys is the one for Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. So keep an eye on that. These things, I would love to see these things base out for a while, get an opportunity to buy them, but it may be 3, 6, 9 months away, depending on what we have. Okay, so that's the morning of Tuesday. When we get into that evening, there's really not much to talk about. And this is one of the reasons I'm talking about this is we're going into options expiration next week. So a lot of these retail stocks are going to be what is pushing this market. Target on Wednesday night, or Wednesday morning, Wednesday morning. This thing has at least been trying to go a little higher. You've had some higher highs. That really got sold off the October 23rd high. Nice little move out here for it today. 4.5 million shares so far, and a counter move to the rest of the market. So keep an eye on that. You got, I mean, if the worst came in, you're looking at $51 on this, and you're what, 59 today? But you know, that's a big move. That's a lot out here if these guys whiff. They have been working a lot on their web presence to go back and push this. But again, we're now on the downside of earnings, and anything that we get, we got about 10 more days through Thanksgiving. Actually, Tuesday, Thanksgiving week, is normally the last time you see any decent earnings action. But in technology, at least the big one, Cisco, for Wednesday evening next week in expiration. This did come up, tested previous high, did so on better volume, but it's come back into the trading range today. So I'm not expecting this to sell off a great deal before next week. NTES, also that Wednesday evening. This has been a big, huge Chinese driven stock, and it's done well. It gapped up just a handful of days ago before earnings. I don't know if you can make a great deal of that, but NTAP, nice little gap on this one today, actually breaking out on a horrible day. So you kind of want to keep an eye on this. This is NetApp, NTAP. Go back to the July 21st. UPS, FedEx are selling. Okay. Good enough. 45.24, July 21st. So we gapped above that. We got 2.3 million shares compared to the 4.6 million. So on a bad day, you're still above the previous high on NetApps. Question on UPS and, why are they continuing to sell? Well, Amazon's replacing them. They've got 40 airplanes now. They've got their own delivery system. I'd say 1/4 of the packages I see delivered on my street come in those little white vans that are not owned by FedEx or the post office or anybody else. They come through every night in that white van and sprinkle packages like it's Christmas throughout the neighborhood. And that is just another Amazon effect. At this point, though, I think they'll be delivering everything they can. I think the sell-off in FedEx is probably looking at next year as UPS is talking about buying, or not UPS, Amazon's talking about buying yet another 80 planes, or excuse me, another 40 planes. And I think you can say about that. But, you're back into the trading range below the July 10th high in FedEx. That's $219.99. That had 2.5 million shares, and you're down with 700,000 shares today. So actually, this thing could pop back up above the 220 area. So thanks for the heads up on the shippers. We'll be back in a little bit. We'll look at L Brands. I know Victoria's Secret.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. If you'd like to be the bank and get the type of interest they receive instead of the low interest rates they give to clients, then I have an investment you may want to take a look at. I'm offering 4-year secured first mortgages on buildable city lots in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment can be anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000 per buildable city lot. The interest paid is 7% per year, paid monthly. Depending on the investment, the income per month per lot ranged from $175 for a $30,000 investment to $437.50 for a $75,000 investment. If you are in the CD market, you want to look at this investment. St. Petersburg is located in Pinellas County, which is the densest county in Florida. If you're looking for an investment with your principal intact that pays a good interest rate, this may be for you. The supply is limited, so act now. For more information on these secured first mortgage opportunities, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. 9190. Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
The Taz Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the Taz Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the Taz Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profiles So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the Taz Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And we're talking, what is it? Well, we got a good segment out here. Comment in the den from John in Philadelphia talking about this. And maybe I haven't talked about it on the air. Maybe I have. In fact, I had a conversation with one of our folks this morning. He was reminding me something that I said in 2013, and I have no recollection of it. You start talking for an hour a day, you're not going to remember anything you say. That's why if anybody like the FBI ever shows up, don't talk to them without a lawyer. You don't remember anything that you said if you talk quite enough. Yeah, volume has a big day. Yesterday was a good day, too. We did almost $300 billion yesterday across the markets, so it was a good day. But anyway, discussions about some of these bank stocks over the last week, and my comment really hadn't changed, which is, as far as I can tell, the market's really looking at all the interest rates being back-ended into next year, that probably not going to see a lot of follow-through after the rate hike in December. They're probably going to give it 6 months and see how the economy does. So I don't think you're going to see those financials roll. They talked a lot about 3 more rate hikes next year, but that was under Yellen. Under our new Fed guy, dude, the new Fed dude, who he's not as easy to make fun of because I haven't heard much from him, which is probably a good thing. Yellen just talked too much. But boy, everybody just wants to spin me up a bit. Anyway, we're looking at the markets. We're going to talk about a few other things going on out here. But I said we'd take a quick look at Amazon, see what was going on in this one. Didn't seem much is going on in it. Even the articles today about possibly going after Amazon for antitrust and monopoly action doesn't phase it at all. And my guess is it won't till after Christmas. These guys, of course, ramp up and do a great deal of business there. A lot more discussion today. TWN, isn't it? TWM or N? TWM. Time Warner, right? Is it TWM? Yeah. No, that's TWM. What's Time Warner? I can't think of it right now. Time Warner. Maybe somebody in the den. TWX, thanks. Thanks, Basil. Continues its move down. I've kind of kept one eye on the TV today just to see what people are blabbing about. And they probably gave the Time Warner guy maybe a whole hour, it seemed like, to say, there's no way we're selling CNN. There's no way we're selling CNN. We're never going to sell it. They can't make us sell it. We'll sue them. We'll do it. And I don't think Time Warner's figured out that, at least for the foreseeable future, we've got a new administration. They've got a company that they've had to fire at least 10, maybe 12 reporters for factually incorrect statements about the new president. So their track record is pretty horrible. You know, if you're in a position of power, is it the right thing to do to force these guys to sell CNN? You can make the effort. But, you know, if you're going to be, the old story is if you're going to kill the king, you better kill him at the beginning, because he's going to come back after you. So is it tit for tat? I don't know. But Time Warner really can't make this deal and sell CNN, as we said yesterday, because it's a giant money loser. They keep it covered up. Why do they keep it covered up? Because guess what? If anybody comes for them, they can be just nasty to them and at an arm's length distance, and that is it. So, you know, if you want to say something about Time Warner, you get a few bad articles written against you. You got a lot of people on CNN that don't quite like the cut of your jib. A lot of these things, when you talk about collusion, there's nothing more than like the collusion between reporting and politics on all sides, no matter what you look at. But I don't think that if you're probably got any juice right now in the Justice Department, I don't think this company stands a chance of putting this AT&T Time Warner deal together without selling CNN, and that is going to be hugely difficult. Okay, what else do we have? Look at a few other things out here. I haven't been spending a lot of time looking at earnings from this morning or elsewhere. Someone wants me to look at Micron. A pure play in memory. There's no sign in this one yet. You've got one big gap at 36 bucks. If the wheels fell off the wagon of the market, that's where I'd want to buy this thing. I think they've got years and years to go, along with Intel. It's not going to be one of these things. I think you got the big move out of it. It's going to be much slower slog like Intel over the years to come, but they've got some very good technology. No one else even close. HP never got their phase change memory out. NVIDIA is just talking about it. These guys are well down the track of doing that. Question about looking at the IWM. You can, of course, send it to me. Okay. Dave, could you tell us about the opening price on a stock as guidance for the day trader? If the price trades below the opening price all day long, go short or wait until the close of the day and check the opening price the next day. I could have told you what to do from 2000 to 2009. That's kind of gone away as a day trader. I slowly moved away from, I think, day trading as a big part of what I did. Kind of started to go away in 2006, and I kind of wandered away from it in 2007. The reason why is in 2007 we started seeing that's when the high frequency traders basically got legalized, and from that 2007 and on, It had already gotten difficult in 2006, but for me, 2007 was the year where all you had to do was start trying to trade intraday to get wiped out fairly quickly. Saw a great many of the trading rooms that used to have thousands of people in them, even after the .com blow up, lose people on a daily basis that couldn't make it back through in 2007 and 2008 on a trading 5 and 10 minute charts or 15-minute charts. So I kind of stayed out of it. I'm not the guy anymore to spend a lot of time on it. And two, I just suspect that if there was a lot to be made, computers would have figured it out. PhDs on Wall Street have already probably figured out the easy money in the very short term. And it probably doesn't mean that I can compete against them. I can hold my breath a little longer than it can. We'll be back in a minute.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge Heard Daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Come join me next hour as we bisect and dissect these markets. Right here on TFNN. Wow!
Well, at least the next few hours are all going to be about Disney, which I'm not real bullish on. It could just go sideways or something. But I don't think I'd want to be long it. Media is got a smell to it that just won't quit. Kind of like being down at the fish docks. It's just going to smell no matter what you do. No one wants to be in it. Nothing seems to be going their way. NVIDIA, of course, seems, other than today, everything is going their way. This one's a very hard one to call. They had a lot of demand over the summer. That demand's kind of gone by the wayside. Their biggest flagship is known as the 1080. So it'll be interesting to see how well they did selling that one. That's a card that sells somewhere between $500 and $750, depending on the configuration. Those prices are way down from a year ago, though. They also have some new cards out, the 1050, which has a lot of memory on it, but very decent card. I think you can buy those for $130 or $150 at Best Buy on sale right now. So they've got a good line. You've got AMD's biggest chip designer and card designer leaving for Intel. That's got to be kind of a net positive for a while. My biggest worry is when we start seeing significant real and defining competition in the machine learning part, because this is kind of a bubble. And the question is, when does that come in? I don't think it's a question of if, but when. And of course, they're going to be coming up with their own thing. They've got a lead. They've got the incumbent position. But more than anything, probably the numbers will be okay. It's going to be the forward guidance that they give on what happens on now that these lower-ended cards are starting to come out, the prices are coming down on their existing machine. Did the additional sales and will additional sales in the next quarter keep NVIDIA at these lofty levels? I don't have a call on it, but a lot of shorts. So watch for a pop in that after the bell. So when you can, not when you have to. See you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento and John Jameson are teaming up for a live hour-long webinar Wednesday, November 15th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, titled The Hidden Secrets Behind Trading and Investing in Cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are some of the most volatile trading markets in the world right now, and this is a webinar that you will not want to miss. In this live 60-minute webinar, John and Larry will discuss a variety of topics, including where cryptocurrencies trade and how to get started, how to recognize supply and demand in cryptocurrencies, and the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum, and why knowing this one piece of information puts you in the top 1% of cryptocurrency traders, as well as many more topics. Visit the front page of TFNN.com for all the information and to sign up today for Fibonacci 24/7, and we'll see you Wednesday, November 15th for the hidden secrets behind trading and investing in cryptocurrencies.